Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So here I am again with another deck profile for you guys today. This time it's on Dark Magicians once again. Now this time I decided to try a new strategy revolving Dark Magician, like one that no one seems to have tried before. And I was actually very happy with the results. Now don't worry, I'm still playing the Wind Witch variation of Dark Magician as well, but I wanted to try something a little different and try to experiment with Dark Magician a lot more because now that cards like Eradicator Epidemic Virus is back at 3, unfortunately, Tomahawk is banned, but that really doesn't hurt my deck's consistency whatsoever. It was just there as an added bonus. So it kind of just opened the window for new ideas to pop up, and I found one that was very interesting. So I think you guys are going to be pretty satisfied with what this is. So this version of Dark Magician is a lot more anti-meta than the Wind Witch one was. In fact, this one also revolves a stun-based strategy, and I think you guys will really enjoy this. So yeah, let's get right to it. So of course I'm going to be playing 3 copies of Dark Magician. This card is very important to the strategy. Can't be hit with Widow Anchor, thank God, because it's a normal monster. And it doesn't. And Fogblade can't hit it either because it's not an effect monster. So yeah, Dark Magician definitely comes in handy and synergizes well with its Dark Magical Circle, so you can banish cards for free when it's summoned. And yeah, not much else to say about that. 3 copies of Apprentice Illusion Magician. This card is this deck's Honest as well as a Searcher for Dark Magician, and it's a free summon just by discarding 1 card. And this is actually also key to my strategy because I can also, especially with the new tech choices that I decided to go with. 3 Magician's Draw. This card is literally your best normal summon in the entire deck, mainly because this searches out all your Dark Magician related spells and traps. 2 Magician of Dark Illusion. This card counts as Dark Magician while it's on the field, so whenever you activate a quick play spell or trap card during your opponent's turn, you can special summon this card for free. And if you activate a spell or trap, you can special summon a Dark Magician from your graveyard. So, yeah. And of course, I'm going to be playing the 1 Blue Boy just because, you know, we were running the spell books, of course, like Secrets and Knowledge, just for draw power and just to play a little bit of a grind game as well. So, Blue Boy comes in handy when he comes around, of course. Alright, so for the new engine I'm actually running the PK engine. Only 2 boots and 1 cloak. I felt like this was the correct number. The reason being is because, yes, I am running some of the Phantom Knight spells, or rather trap cards instead. I'm not running the rank up, unfortunately, only because I have no actual way of getting Azathoth out consistently enough. And sadly, if Magician's Rod was a level 4 monster, then I wish I would have for sure played like the Time Thief Roadier as well as Azathoth, but sadly I can't play them. But that being said, you can still run the trap cards consistently. You know, you definitely want to stun your opponent and cancel out all his effects. And you can also, you know, get a free summon off that 1 trap card, the one that looks like a freaking helmet, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But yeah, like, just banish these cards from the grave. You can search out any one of your PK traps. And even opening up with them is not a bad thing because you can just pitch them with Apprentice Illusion Magician. So yeah, they definitely help this deck out a lot. For the hand traps, I'm only playing 4. I'm playing 2 copies of Ash Blossom as well as 2 copies of Veiler. I don't have impermanence. If I did, I would run it, but if not, but since I don't, you know, Effect Veiler is just as good, or you can run Forbidden Chalice, one or the other, but I think Veiler is just as good in my opinion. But at times, you know, like, maybe I'll go back and forth switching out Veiler with a Forbidden Chalice, because, you know, if someone decides to hit me with Azathoth, then, you know, I can at least negate its effects with Chalice. Alright, so moving on to the spells. Running 3 copies of Secret Village of Spellcasters. This card is really good at shutting down decks like Sky Strikers. Technically, yeah, if you're going for, since this is a primarily going first deck, you can shut down decks that revolve around the rank up spells. So Secret Village comes in handy because, you know, as long as they have to control a spellcaster in order to play spells. But keep in mind, this backfires on you too. So if you don't control a spellcaster, you can't activate spells either. So, but generally you should be able to keep a spellcaster out regardless. So, but yeah, comes in handy. You know, it's really good just to slow down your opponent. This doesn't work too well against Ultra guys, so that's why we run Eradicator on the side. Next up, 3 Dark Magical Circles. You know, if you summon Dark Magician, you can banish 1 card your opponent controls. For the spellbooks, 2 Secrets, 2 Knowledge. You know, like I said, to get free draw power and just grind out the deck faster. And for the 1-0s, Dark Magic Inheritance. Searches out anything as long as you banish 2. 1 Dark Magic Attack to blow up back row. And 1 Illusion Magic. You know, all very key essential cards. Alright, so moving on to traps. I'm running 3 copies of Navigation. You know, just special summon Dark Magician from hand and 1 other level 7 or lower dark spellcaster type monster, so you can get out another Dark Magician, a Magician of Dark Illusion, or another Prince Illusion, whatever you want. And also, you can, if you control Dark Magician, you can banish this card and negate the effects of one spell or trap your opponent controls until the end of the turn. Next up, only 2 copies of Eternal Soul, just because, because if it gets blown up, you lose all your cards, and we're not running like the Fusion variant where you can get away with running 3. I have no way to protect it, so it can backfire against you. So that's why Eternal Soul at 2 is just fine, just as long as you have a way to, keep your opponent from popping it. But generally, yeah, you only want to run it at 2. 2 Fog Blades, I know the rarities don't match. These were literally the only 2 copies I had. And the 1 Shade, just because, it's a free summon, easy link play. Just get into Wee Witch's Apprentice, or you can, combo it off with Reaper Docus, get into Summon Sort faster. So, yeah, those are just generally consensus. So, moving on to the extra deck. Playing 1 Wee Witch's Apprentice. Everything's in the deck is primarily dark, so yeah, it comes in handy and recurs its sources, and you can give your dark monsters a power boost. 1 Reaper Docus, like I said, this combos well just to make a free summon Sork a lot faster. So usually I like to use it for that 1 trap card, as I mentioned. Running Nightmare Unicorn and Phoenix, for spot removal. Cerberus is not as good in this format right now, so that's why I'm just running these 2. 1 Summon Sork just to help you extend your plays, get into some free rank 7s and all that. Got the Rusty, just, comes in handy, lets you pitch away one of your Phantom Knight monsters from your deck to the grave, and you can set 1 Phantom Knight spell or trap directly from your deck to the field, so really helps. And it's so generic, just requires 2+ dark monsters, so it's not too specific on its summoning conditions, you just need dark monsters in general. 1 Power Code Talker, just as a beater. I mean, I really didn't know what else to put in here, to be honest with you, but Power Code Talker seems to work. Just helps me for OTKs whenever I need them to. And lastly, 1 Borlo Dragon. This outs certain boards, it outs Boral Sword Dragon. So, yeah, I felt like that was the best course of action to go with. Alright, moving on to the Xyz. Got 1 Leviair the Sea Dragon, We have plenty of level 3s in this deck, so definitely helps, just to bring back one of your banished Phantom Knights and just kind of go from there, keep extending your plays, and just, yeah, that's really all I can say about Leviair. 1 Ebon Illusion Magician, for free summonings and banishment as well. 1 Norito, negate spells and traps. Because this is basically what this deck does, is you want to negate and stun. And you can also banish as well, so that's one of the best things about this deck. 1 Big Eye, this is basically mind control, but better, because you get to permanently keep that monster. 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon for burn damage. So, your opponent, as long as it has Xyz material, your opponent gets burned for 500 points of damage for every time he activates an effect. So, yeah. And just for giggles, really, and I found that this card was very effective, and it out the Thunder Dragons. I'm running the engine of Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, and for its target, Meteor Burst Dragon, because with Meteor Burst Dragon, whenever you enter the battle phase, as long as he's present, your opponent cannot activate monster effects. So that means for Thunder Dragons, they can't use the built-in protection they have. So you can easily just beat over it with a stronger monster as long as he's out, and he himself is already good. He's got 2,500 attack points. So he really helps with this strategy. So link away Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, or Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, bring out Meteor Burst for free, and you pretty much just good. You're golden right there. There's really nothing you can't pull off with this, so yeah. Alright, so moving on to the extra deck. Spicy tech choice I'm still sticking to is Fairy Tail Luna. Just negates effects, so target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls during either player's turn, and then your opponent has to send 1 card with that monster's original name from their deck or extra deck to the grave, and just negate its effects. And then, otherwise you return both this card and that monster back to the hand. So even if he doesn't have a copy of it, it's still a neg 1 from your opponent, so he still has to get rid of that monster. So yeah, it's really helpful. 3 Cosmic Cyclones, because I think Banishment's a little bit better in this deck than just popping, because decks like Sky Strikers or Altergeist, even Trickstars, you don't want them to really set off, so you want to get rid of their best spells and traps as quickly as you can. So yeah, for any search heavy strategies, and since Salamangreats are coming up, especially this Thursday and Friday, Shared Ride, which by the way I will be playing Salamangreats as well, but Shared Ride really will come in handy against those decks because they're search heavy and you want to be able to get as much draw power as you can. Just to be a little trolly, I decided to go to 3 torrential tributes, as well as 3 copies of Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Again, Secret Village will not work well against Ultra guys, so you kind of want to switch up between Eradicator if you lose the dice roll game 1. So just switch out with Eradicator and just, call traps and they're done. They can't really do anything. Torrential Tribute will also come in handy for them too, so yeah. Well, anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys again on the next video.